You know when you're on a bus or a train and you wish you could just jump right to your final destination without going through all the in-between stops? That's called sequential access because you have to go through an entire sequence to get what you want. Users hate this because it totally limits their autonomy. Sequential access is when you must move forward and backward through options in a rigid order. Direct access is the opposite. It's when you can jump straight to what you want. Now, in the physical world, time and space naturally force sequential access upon us. You can't teleport to the train station you want, nor can you just jump to the weekend. But digital interfaces can give users direct access if they're designed to do so. Let's look at 4 painful examples of sequential access and a few suggestions for how to make them more direct. Let's start with an easy one, carousels. Carousels present multiple pieces of information stacked on top of each other like a deck of cards. To go from the first item to the third, you have to go through the second one. Users don't like being forced through this sequence, so oftentimes the trouble of moving through the sequence makes them just give up on the items at the end of the carousel. What's the fix? Make each item visible and independently accessible from the beginning. For example, use large, clickable thumbnails for each item that allow users to jump around within the carousel. Second example, typing on a smart TV using an included remote controller is notoriously miserable. It's completely sequential because you can't move from one letter on the keyboard to another without going through all the in-between keys. So what's the fix? Well, you can't just give TVs touchscreens because it's expensive and people just don't sit that close to the TV. So good omni-channel design allows a user to pull these interaction-heavy tasks off of the TV, often by scanning a QR code, and finish them on a direct access device like a smartphone. Third example, car infotainment systems in cars originally used to have all physical controls like buttons and knobs, which gave perfect direct access. But consider the non-touchscreen display in recent Mazdas that can only be navigated by twisting a knob to move the cursor through the digital interface. Now, this isn't terrible when options are presented as a uniform list, but it becomes a huge pain when options are arranged around the screen in nonlinear positions. For example, once you select the option to adjust the zoom level in the CarPlay version of Google Maps, the only way to close the options is to go all the way back around. The sequence is hidden and must be memorized. So what's the fix? Make them touchscreens, for goodness sake. I don't buy any argument that tediously rotating and over-rotating that knob is somehow safer on the road. Last example. Users who are blind or have low vision often rely on screen readers, which turn even interfaces designed for direct access into sequential experiences, because the system reads the user each page element out loud in the sequence of the code. So what's the fix? Well, we can't change how a screen reader functions, but properly coded pages allow users to jump between specific page elements, like headings. This gives them more direct access to portions of that page without sequentially moving through all of the content. It also means that good accessible design considers whether interfaces make sense when screen reader users move through them sequentially. What's the bottom line? Users want to understand all the available elements contained in a design up front and jump directly to what interests them. Watch out for situations where you're forcing sequential access. And think about those users who are curious, impatient, or revisiting the content, who will want the ability to directly jump around. Direct access is almost always superior to sequential access.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of our UX videos, take a look at these over here and consider subscribing to our channel. On our website and in group.com, you can access our free library of over 2,000 articles. You can also register for one of our UX courses that offer live hands-on UX training.